soy el fuego que...
Hey guys, Michael Joe with the Vintage Trading Post. It's Monday, February 6th, 2023. Wanted to talk to you guys about the market right now. I'm going to title this episode Coming Back to Reality. And I apologize, guys. I'm going to get on my soapbox here in a couple minutes because I do want to talk about some stuff that's been bothering me in the markets. It's probably bothering some of you guys as well. But let's get into this. So when I talk about the spike, okay, guys, there was two of them actually in the last couple of years, and it was when the collectible hobbies were doing very well, the global economy was doing very well, the cryptocurrency markets were doing very well, and it was the perfect storm. Like that 20 to 15 to 20 to 17 range, and then again in around 2020, it flared up again in MTG. I mean, prices and values of cards went through the roof. People were paying top dollar for stuff. Those are the two spikes I refer to when I talk about the spikes, just so everyone understands that. Now we're starting to see what some people are calling a correction. I think it's just stabilization. That's what I think this is. I think the markets are stabilizing. I think it's getting back to where it should be. A couple of years ago, I was saying that, how far can this keep going up? Alpha prices and all the fancy iconic cards kept going up and up and up. I mean, eventually we knew they were going to come back down. I mean, at least if you were sane, you would know that they were going to come back down, which they are. But it's funny, I don't think these prices are going back below what they were pre the first spike or even the second spike for that matter. I think they're just kind of coming back down to what they were right around that second spike. And maybe they'll continue to drop some more. I don't know. Okay, I'm not a fortune teller, guys. I'm just going based off of my experience, almost 29, 30 years, whatever it is, of MTG now. Watching the MTG market values over those years, there's ups and downs, guys. That's just the way it goes. So, probably asking, MJ, why are you so upset? Well, I'm going to tell you why I'm upset. I'm upset with the two groups of people out there that have clearly lost their mind. In the first group, on one end of the spectrum, you have people that want to go out and buy 9.5 BGS cards. I'll even take it a step further, maybe even BGS 9.5 quad cards for near mint pricing. You heard me correct, guys. We're talking a BGS 9.5. We'll just say a basic 9.5, and they want to spend right around maybe a little bit more than a near mint raw card value of the same card. These people have clearly lost their mind. They should not be taken seriously at all. And in fact, when people come to me, if I'm selling stuff and they come up with pricing like that or offers like that, I just ignore them because they clearly shouldn't be dealt with. So those people really piss me off. On the opposite, now on the other side, you got people that are getting cards back and, maybe they hit some good grades. And now they're trying to sell these cards for well above what they were in this last spike. Say you got a card that was like $2,000 in that last spike. BGS 9.5, the cards were $2,000. A regular BGS 9.5 card. You guys could use your imagination for whatever you want it to make it be. But now some of these guys are getting these cards back and they got 9.5. Now they want to sell it for $4,000. These people have lost their mind. No one's going to spend twice as much as what it was in that last spike, especially right now. So those people shouldn't be taken seriously. And if you guys are looking to buy cards and you guys find a seller that's selling the cards like this, guys don't even bother wasting your time trying to talk to them or trying to wheel and deal. They're not going to. So what are we seeing right now, guys? Well, I'm going to tell you what we're seeing. We're seeing 3 years ago people sending a bunch of cards. Back when the market was real good, grading MTG cards, was the biggest thing in the world, right? And it still is, don't get me wrong. But back then, everyone, their brother, was starting to see the cards coming back and the values and the money being spent. Money, money, money. Well, some of these people didn't listen to what I said years ago, and I'm going to repeat it now. And I'm not trying to be a I told you so or I know it all. I'm just trying to explain to you guys. If you know what you're doing with grading cards, if you really do, if you could look at a card and you're pretty accurate grading it, and I understand you get some wacky graders out there in all the companies, okay? All the companies have bad graders. They also have some good graders. You're rolling the dice on which one you're going to get. But if you're good at what you do, and you look at a card and you really think, hey, you know what, this is going to hit 9.5 or better. Back then, you should have just spent the extra money, the premium cost, whatever the hell it was called, $50 a card, whatever it was, $100 a card. Spend it if you know you're going to get that value back and you knew that card was going to hit 9.5. Digress. What you're seeing now is you're seeing a bunch of people that went with the economy. They went through the first spike, part of the second spike, maybe the whole second spike. Now they're getting their cards back, and one of two things are happening. Either they're complaining about their grades, which, oh, the grader was tough. I don't like this company anymore. Whine, whine, whine. But they're showing off the cards in these groups, and I'm looking at some of them, and I don't think these cards are 9.5, and the pictures are terrible that they're posting on them. But I'm looking at them, and I don't think they're 9.5. So I don't understand, maybe they're not 7.5 like they get, but they're definitely not 9.5. So somewhere in the middle, there's a happy medium. Either way, they're not what these posters, if you would, the people who are posting these cards wanted. That's too bad. Unfortunately, they waited 2 years to get these cards back. They're living in the past. They think it's the spike or the second spike, and they want to sell these cards at top dollar, and it's just not going to happen. The markets are getting flooded with 9s, 8.5 cards from all the companies, guys. I'm not going to get into companies. If you guys know, and you guys have watched my videos, I try to stay unbiased. It doesn't matter the company. You're starting to see a flooding of the markets of 9, 8.5, 8, whatever you want to call it, guys. The 9.5 stuff is still holding its value for the most part. And people are still looking for 9.5. But the rest of that stuff is starting to drop in value pretty significantly. That's because the market is flooded with this stuff. I feel bad for a lot of people that invested a lot of money, a year or two ago in this and sent every single card. I feel bad because they lost a lot of money and value in grading all this stuff, and they're probably not going to recoup their money. That's the truth of it. You're not. Those of you out there that did this, you guys aren't going to recoup your money. If you were smart, you should have looked at every single card, because this hobby is still about grading. You still have to have knowledge. It's not like, hey, you know what? I got a whole bunch of these cards right here. I'm going to send them in and hope they all come back 9.5. You got to look at them, guys. If you really want 9.5s, do the work. Don't be lazy. Look at those corners. Look at those edges. Look at the centering. I showed you guys videos how to do a lot of this stuff. When they come back 8s because a quarter is totally messed up or the centering is totally off, don't complain. Do your homework before you send them in. Again, it's too late. It's spilled milk now for some of these guys. So that's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing the market get flooded with a bunch of low-graded cards, 8s, 9s, whatnot, and now the prices are dropping significantly in 8s and 9s. I kind of thought that was going to happen. You're starting to see even some of the values in some of the 9.5s drop a little bit, but that's expected. Again, on my soapbox here, people trying to spend pennies to get, $100 cards, shame on you. All you out there that have found these people trying to get your fancy cards for dirt cheap, just ignore them. They're idiots. Just ignore them. For all those who are trying to sell, decent cards at outrageous prices, shame on you guys. At the end of the day, and I always said this, guys, nobody knows graded card values. I tell people don't go by eBay sold because that's not always accurate. In fact, there's a lot of crazy stuff that affects that. A lot of variables, if you would, that could throw that all off, all your values off. So I wouldn't use eBay sold too much. I know some of you guys disagree with me on that, but I don't look at that. But at the end of the day, guys, nobody really knows the value. A graded card is only worth, what's my golden rule, guys? what someone is willing to pay for it. Okay? I don't think there's going to be a lot of people buying, a BGS 9. I'm trying to think of a car. Scavenger folk from the dark. There's probably thousands of them out there now. Well, that's an exaggeration, but there's a lot of them out there because a lot of people thought they were going to have 9.5 and they're coming back 9s. And values, with the market being flooded, no one's going to spend a lot of money on that card. Not like many people want that card anyway, other than set collectors. But I digress, guys. That's what we're starting to see in this market. I do think that the global economy, if it improves, and or the cryptocurrency market improves, I think the collectible market, including MTG, is going to improve as well. I think that you're going to see a rebound. You're going to see another spike. It's just a matter of when that's going to happen. For all you guys that got all these cards back, if you got good grades and you guys aren't getting the prices you want for them, my recommendation is you guys just hold on to them, okay? Wait for that next spike, and you guys will make your money. I know a lot of people in the last spike that had cards for 3 or 4 years prior to it, and they sold and made a ton of money. All you investors out there that are doing this for the investment side of this hobby, that's probably the way to do it. Just hold on to them. For those of you guys who invested a lot of money and need to start recouping some of that money, be prepared, guys. You guys are probably going to take a loss. You might want to start putting up posts about set collecting. Maybe there's a new generation of set collectors out there that would like to start building sets in lower grades, 8.5s and 9s, if you got a whole bunch of them from a certain set, maybe you could sell them in a package and recoup some of that money. That's it, guys. That's all I got. I'm very upset with people trying to, I'm all about bargain shopping, guys. I'm all about getting the best value for your buck. No disrespect to anyone trying to do that. But when people come up to you and be like, hey, I want your 9.5 whatever card, I'm willing to pay you, 5% over a near mid value. These people have lost their mind. And then the other guys that are selling cards, how much you selling that card for? Oh, it's a 9.5. Oh, I want $4,000. Well, that's weird because even 2 years ago it was only $2,000. So there's no way it went up that much. Now I'm not talking about power, guys. I'm talking about just normal cards. So anyway, guys, that's all I got. I'm looking for some new topics. If you guys want, I'll put my email address at the end. Would love to hear from you guys. Talk about different stuff of the collecting markets, of the collecting hobby, and the investing part of the hobby. I'm always down to talk about it, guys. Until next time, guys, take it easy, good luck, and have fun shopping.